I had some pretty horrific calls early on that at the time didn't affect me at all. It was one of those things that I never thought I had a problem with. Compartmentalization is part of the job. And as the dark times came, just started drinking. And the more I drank, the less motivated I was to go work out. When I started missing my workouts, my diet started failing. And it was just a compounding downhill spiral.
The surgeons tell me I can't throw a baseball, can't lift. So that's just crushed my soul, right? Like, my kids, I can't play with my kids now. I've been coaching their baseball teams and doing things. It was in the darkest place I've ever been.
The baggage that I carried with me unnecessarily was the eggshells that my family walked on, and I saw myself becoming unloving.
I don't like to be around people. I don't want to be around crowds. Everything just makes me want to go home, put my earplugs on, and just stay away from everything.
I led an entire Air Force Corps function and eventually achieved the highest enlisted rank in one of the most elite career fields in the DoD. I received a diagnosis from a traumatic brain injury from a few years before that would ultimately end my career. The day I took off the uniform, I became irrelevant to my community, from hero to zero, overnight.
My wife had learned about Shields and Stripes through some mutual friends at a local CrossFit gym, and she approached the subject with me very carefully. And although I was making some steps in the right direction, I was struggling. But something in her eyes gave me hope.
I finally got the VA to take over my physical therapy, and I had Dr. Leanne, and she was working with me, and she was like, hey, I know this program, I'm a part of it, I think you'd be good for it, and we'll get you where you want to be. And I was like, wow. And that was the first time I felt happy in a long time.
The people I've met in Shields and Stripes, I would describe them as brothers that I can't compare to, but equals all the same.
Knowing that I'm not going to be judged for anything that I say or do has kind of really helped make me want to be more open for new experiences.
I believe all veterans should have access to a program like Shields and Stripes that is focused on every area holistically of the tactical operator, first responder, so that they're taken care of when their time of service is complete.
Instead of looking through the eyes of, hey, these bad things happen here and they have outcome over here, I'm using the positives that came from the bad over here to be a better father.
Hearing the experiences of the other 7, there's a lot more to life than a career. That family needs me. I need my family.
From the EXO staff to the clinicians, everybody has been so incredibly welcoming. You feel like every day is just a great big hug.
When I leave this program, I'm looking forward to implementing the things that have been put into place and thrown in my mind, and actually thriving instead of surviving.
My time here with Shields and Stripes has been to witness that we are the hope and light for each other. We are the hope and light for ourselves. The version of us that showed up is not the version that is sitting in front of this camera, or the version that will return home to our families.
I've been in constant communication with my wife, and she sent me something I thought was very touching. Your new life is going to cost you. It's going to cost you being liked and understood, but it doesn't matter. The people who are meant for you are going to meet you on the other side. Instead of being liked, you're going to be loved. Instead of being understood, you're going to be seen. Remaining attached to your old life, your old feelings, is the first and the final act of self-sabotage. And releasing it is what we must prepare for to truly be willing to see the real change in our lives.